Well, welcome back everyone. My name is Emmy. This is the channel Frugal Money Saver. How is everyone doing? I hope this video finds you well. Today we are going to do about 3 segments. 3 different things are going on. Number 1, I'm going to give you a little grocery haul. We are making some strawberry oat bars. Oh my goodness, they're so good. And then we're going to show you how we start our seeds and make homemade little mini greenhouses out of repurposed items that we have. So if this sounds good to you, stick around. We are an early retirement couple living in the state of New York, and we basically show you how to live a more abundant life on less money. And yes, we are debt free. So let's start with our grocery haul. We have not been shopping in I think about 2 weeks or so, even a little more maybe. We needed a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. Now the stores are starting to get in some halfway decent produce, and I am super excited about that. I don't know my husband so much. How about you, Paul? Vegetables?
Potatoes are cool.
Potatoes. So let's get right to the haul. So the first thing we're going to start with is I bought 2 heads of escadole. I can leave the link to the video down below where I showed you how to make escadole and beans, which is something we eat. But I think what I'm going to do with this is just clean them and saute them in olive oil and garlic and use them as a side dish for a couple of days instead of eating them as a meal. So that will be delicious. Then I got a bag of the halos. As you know, the one fruit Paul really likes is oranges and clementine. So we picked this up. It was $2.99 for 3 pounds. Then we needed potatoes. The bagged potatoes were just terrible looking. Some of them had sprouts and they just were not nice. So I did pick individual potatoes this time. It was a little bit more, but they were beautiful. And sometimes we have to remember quality is important as well. If you get something home and it rots, it's a waste of money. So we got a cucumber. Grapes were on sale, $1.49 a pound. The Gala apples, organic, were $1.49. So I got 4 of those. 2 bananas. The cantaloupes were $2 and they looked beautiful. I'm so happy to be seeing all this fresh produce in again. I got some baby zucchinis, and what I'm going to do with those is make grilled vegetable sandwiches with those and the yellow squash that I got. They were both $1.49 a pound, and I'm going to actually video that because it is so amazing. Even Paul, who is a total meat eater, total carnivore, my husband, loves these sandwiches. And then I bought some tomatoes on the vine, which I'm looking at this one now and I'm not thrilled with it, but I guess I missed that when I picked it up. But we'll eat that one right away. And then over here, my Victoria the low sodium marinara. This was on sale for $3.99, and on the Victoria website there's $1 off, and I was able to print 4 for $1 off each one. So I got these for $2.99, and you know these are very expensive marinara sauces, but they are so good. Oh my goodness. Oral-B had another special. They were $2.49 for the toothbrush, and they gave you $2 back on a digital coupon, so that was 49 cents. I got a package of Swiss cheese. There's a recipe I want to make, and it called for Swiss cheese. I checked the price in the deli, and this was definitely cheaper. The deli Swiss cheese was like $8 a pound, and this half a pound was $2.50. So still expensive for a half a pound of cheese, but I really want to make this recipe and I needed that. And I love that Swiss cheese is such a low sodium cheese. Then you all know I drink tea. I drink a cup in the morning, then I drink a cup around 11 o'clock, and then I have a cup of decaf in the afternoon. So my Tetley tea, which is my favorite tea, was $1.99 a box, and you were allowed to get 4. And then I also got 2 boxes of their decaf tea. And that's what I drink in the afternoon, because if I drink caffeine after 12 o'clock, I can't go to bed. And then I got my husband, because he loves them. How much you love Cracker Jacks?
It completes the vegetable sandwich.
Exactly. And these were $1 for 3 little boxes. So I thought that was so cute. And I know how much he loves those. Then Pillsbury had their brownies and cake mixes for 88 cents a box. And ever since I made the brownie cookies, my brother loved them, my niece loved them. So that's great to have if you have to go to someone's house. It's a quick, easy recipe. And I will link that video down below as well. When I say I link something, you can always find it in the description box of the video. And then I just got a plain white cake mix for 88 cents because they're always great to have in the pantry. I got Paul a bag of tortilla chips, and we have tons of salsa, so that's great. And then for myself, I got the Hint of Sea Salt Triscuits, which I love. 2 ingredients, wheat and just a little bit of salt. So that rounds out our grocery haul. We got a lot of produce. As you can see, my tea. When something is on sale, we always stock up on it. It's so important. When tea goes on sale for $1.99 a box, I grab 4 boxes. You're only allowed to get 4, so that's fine. Now it goes right into the pantry. And the total for this haul was $58.28. So I was very pleased with that. That really is great. And we have a lot of food here that can be made into different meals. We still have loaded freezer of meats. We still have tons of pasta and pantry items. So we are really good on that front. It was just the fresher ingredients we needed. So I just wanted to share with you. Now I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to make some strawberry oat bars to share with you. I had a bag of frozen strawberries. We had gotten these last, I guess, at the end of the summer. And I took them on a cookie tray and I froze them individually, as you can see. So what I did is just took them out and I defrosted them. And this is a regular package of strawberries that you would buy, you know, the regular size container in the store. Now, I'm assuming you can use fresh, no problem. It would probably be delightful. And I also have a cup of oats. I have 3/4 cup flour. I have a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 6 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to need about a tablespoon of cornstarch, and that's all there is to this. Now, like I always tell you, read the reviews on a recipe before you make it, and I did on this. And a lot of people said it was dry and crumbly. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is add a little bit more liquid. So she had said if you're using frozen strawberries to dry them off, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave them just as they are. I'm just going to drain the strawberry juice that's at the bottom. So let's get right to this. In my mixer, I'm going to add the cup of oats. I'm going to add the 3/4 cups of flour. And I'm going to add the 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of a mix. I took the 6 tablespoons of butter and I'm pouring them right into our dry mixture. And now I'm going to gently mix this. I am seeing this looks a little dry. And that was some of the complaints of the recipe. It's not terrible, but it looks a little dry. What I'm going to do is just add a little drop of this strawberry liquid that I have left over. Just a little bit. Okay, let's mix this up now. That's also going to give it awesome flavor. Now I'm going to take this mixture, and I have an 8-inch square pan here. And what I did was I greased it. Now I'm going to take half of this mixture, and I am going to put it on the bottom of this pan, and I'm going to press it down. So you're going to want to spread this out as evenly as you can into all the corners. We took the strawberries and we chopped them. We diced them, actually. As you can see right here, we just cut them up. And I put half down. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a teaspoon of cornstarch, but we're only going to sprinkle half over these berries. And we're going to save the other half And now what it said to do, take half a teaspoon of sugar and sprinkle that on. So the good thing about this recipe is it's not overly sweet. You're using a lot of fresh fruit here. So this should be really good. So now we just took the rest of the strawberries. We put that on top. We're going to take the rest of our cornstarch, sprinkle that on. Okay. And now the other half a teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to use my hands now, and I'm just going to take the rest of that crumbled dry topping, which is now pretty moist now, and I'm just going to crumble it all over the top. And hopefully, this is going to be so good. I haven't had strawberries in so long, but it is strawberry season now, and I figured those of you in the South are going to be getting fresh strawberries soon, and this would be a perfect recipe to use them in. So there we go. We just sprinkled this all over. My hands are a mess, but that's okay. You know who I am. So now I'm going to pop this in the oven at 375 for about 35 minutes and we'll check on it. This cooked at 375 for 30 minutes and it is perfect. I'm so glad I added a little bit of that extra liquid to it. So now we're going to see, ooh, it's crispy on top. So let's see how this, ooh, all right, looks good. Let's get that little crunchy. Oh, good, it does come right out. It's awkward. The first piece is always so hard. So I'm going to do the second piece. So I am going to do the second cut and hopefully, there we go. Like this smells like strawberry heaven, doesn't it?
I was reaching for
Oh,
it. I thought that was for me. Look at how beautiful that is.
They did recommend using parchment paper on the bottom, but I didn't have any. So we did it this way and it's fine. It's not as pretty, but you just take the little crispies out. So these look amazing. They smell amazing. So we wish you bon appetito. So we're inside Ocean City Job Lot. Is that where we are, Paul? It's a new store that opened in our area and all the burpee seeds are 40% off. So this is such a great deal for us. So we're going to get some seeds to begin our plants.
Okay, this is what we do to start our plants for our garden. And what I like to do is try to reuse stuff that everybody seems to have. This egg container goes into the recycle bin when it's empty. We're going to recycle it using this as a little planter. And what we're going to do first is remove the label. So now the label is gone. And we're going to take this little tray and turn it into a little mini greenhouse. Okay, what you do is when you open this up, if you see it kind of folds together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and carefully cut this piece off, like this.
And this is just a Land O'Lakes egg carton.
That's it. It's going to go in the recycle container someday, so might as well use it. Okay. Now, if you notice, we have this. What we're going to do is this is going to be the drip tray, and I'm going to put little holes in here and set that inside the tray and then close the lid. And the plants are going to grow inside here. This fits inside this tray, keeps everything dry.
Yep, and then when we go to replant, what we do is just take the little plants out. We don't bury the plastic, we take the seedling out of there and then bury it.
Okay, I'm going to use a ice chopper from the old days. You can use something, a screw, a nail. If you're handy with a soldering iron, you can actually poke a little hole with a soldering iron. Basically, I'm going to make a little hole in each tray using the scrap of wood, and you're just going to go like this. There's one. Two.
And the holes are for what?
Drainage. It's going to drain the water so you don't have to worry about over watering.
I know a lot of people go out and buy the trays of those little pellets. You know what I'm talking about, those little growing pellets. But we figured we'd just use what we have.
Okay, so just a pinhole in the bottom, and that just lets excess water out. So basically now what I'm going to do is set this back in our little homemade terrarium. We're going to take some of this topsoil. We're going to put it in.
This topsoil, to start these plants, we bought at Aldi. And it was a big bag, and I think we paid like $3. So this is working out perfectly for starting our seeds.
Now usually we make our own topsoil here. We make our own compost. But the problem is the compost is too rich, too hot for seedlings. So we do purchase a bag of, clean dirt, and this is perfect for starting the seeds. Once the seeds germinate and they become strong enough to go outside, then they go into our own composted New York soil.
There you go. That's right. I'm just going to show you how we do one, but then we will show you them as we keep going in future videos and how it's doing. The first one we're going to be doing is tomatoes. What does that say, Paul? I can't even see it.
Best Boy Hybrid.
Best Boy Hybrid, which are supposed to be like these really good sweet eating tomatoes for sandwiches. So Paul's going to go ahead and start getting that together.
Now with a pen or a stick or whatever you have, I'm just going to make a couple holes, couple small holes.
And we usually do about 2 to 3 seeds in each section because a lot of times, they may not germinate, or some come up very, very weak while others are strong. So this is how we do it. Now our growing season is relatively short compared to the rest of the country. We can't really plant outside till after Memorial Day in May. That's when our fear of frost is over. So what we do is we start them now in April. So we give them about a 6-week jump start, the tender ones like our tomato and our basil, things like that. Let's talk about, this is an entire package of seeds in the palm of his hand. We usually do some of our own seeds. We do have our own pumpkin. We do have our own squash. We do have our own sugar squash seeds, but we did not save the tomato last year. So that's why we had to buy some. So Paul's just putting them in the little holes, and we're hoping these take because there's not a heck of a lot of seeds here.
Okay, all the seeds are dropped in. Now we're just going to take a little more of the soil, put it on the top, take my pen or tool, whatever, just move it over the top like this.
See how super easy this is to grow your own food? And really, even a couple pots, I tell you all the time, even if you do container gardening, we do a lot of container gardening, and it produces really great food for us over the summer.
So that's it. Add a little water, close it up, and there's your greenhouse. Put it in the window.
Okay, now what do we do once it starts to sprout? Once these little guys start to sprout?
Once it starts to sprout and they look like they're all, you'll see a lot of condensation on top of the plastic. You don't want mold to happen. So what we do is we then prop this open a little bit with anything. That'll let some air in.
Right, because you don't want them to get moldy.
And then eventually you're going to have to open this up anyway.
We're also going to do the 3 sisters this year. We've never tried it. It's where you plant corn, beans, and squash at the same time. And the corn is supposed to grow. The beans, green beans, are supposed to go around the corn. And the corn would be used as the lattice of the beans. And then underneath is the squash. And then the squash that you plant on the bottom holds the moisture in. Their leaves are big. And that holds the moisture in. And they're supposed to just like feed off of the nutrients they each put into the soil. So we're going to try it this year. We'll show it. But we wanted to get you started just to show you that we are starting all our seedlings now because it's time. And let me tell you, starting from seeds is so much more economical than going to a plant store and letting them start them for you, and then you're paying $2-3 for a tomato plant. So if you can start with seeds, it is the way to go. It's a little more work, but totally worth it. So I hope this video was informative. We just shared a day with you of what we do. We did a little food shopping, a little cooking, a little planting, and I hope it blessed your day. So by all means, we ask you to please give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not done so. It helps us so much. Don't forget to click on that little bell so you can be alerted when we make a new video. And if you got time to watch an ad, so appreciate that. So until our next video, you know we love you. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, bye-bye.